Hello again. Welcome back to this 30 days of meditation. This is day 2. So find yourself a comfortable position, a cushion, a chair, whatever it takes, and we'll get started. Yesterday, we learned a little bit how to move our attention around. Not that we didn't know how to do it, of course. We all know how to move our attention from our foot to our ear to our leg to a leg, shoulder, elbow. And that capacity, of course, to move our attention, and that attention itself is usually stuck up here in the thinking mind, in the thought factory, in other words. And because of that, it has a lot of implications for our life. And we feel that the world that we think about is the world that we're living in, when in reality, it's not. It's just our thoughts. So we learned yesterday that this kind of movement can be the issue and can be the solution. So today we're going to learn how to take that movement, how to move our attention away from thinking. We're going to bring it down away from thought and see if we can recognize what it is like to not be lost in continuous thought. And don't worry if you get it right. Don't worry if you're going to get it wrong. Don't try to be perfect. Please let go of any expectation. Have a beginner's mind. That thing over there, that's a calligraphy from Zen master Shunryo Suzuki. He wrote Zen Mind's Beginner's Mind, and that calligraphy means beginner's mind. So every time we approach meditation practice, we're not doing it out of trying to gain, not trying to do it out of trying to learn. We're just coming empty, beginner only, like a child. So again, find yourself a comfortable position. You want to find something that is relatively sturdy and preferably upright so you don't fall asleep. And of course, you can keep your eyes closed or open. Just find what works for you. And I just realized that my thing is over there. Give me 1 second. All right, let's begin. All right, let's begin today's practice by taking 3 deep breaths. And we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just notice what it is like to breathe. Ready? In through the nose, out through the mouth. In, out, and in, and out. And remember, we're coming here with a beginner's mind. One that is free from trying to gain as much as we can. Letting go of trying to get it right and remaining curious and open. Now begin to notice your right hand. Just like yesterday, bring your attention to your right hand. Notice how it lights up, how it becomes noticeable, and just notice what you feel. Now move your attention to your left shoulder. Now to your right shoulder. Now bring your attention to the center of your forehead. Just notice. What is it like to have a forehead? Now bring your attention from the forehead down the bridge of your nose into your upper lip, down through your bottom lip, into your chin, down through the neck, into the upper chest, down through the solar plexus or the center of your chest, and all the way down to the lower belly, below the belly button. Now take a deep breath in through the nose while noticing this lower belly area and gently release. What did that feel like? Again, in through the nose, gently release, noticing the lower belly. And it's okay if you don't feel like you're getting this, or if it feels a little complicated. That's okay. Just see if you can ever so slightly begin to notice the lower belly as you allow your breath to go in and out, in and out. Just stay here with this gentle rhythm of the breath. And don't do any breathing techniques. Like for you yoga fans, don't do any ujjayi breathing. Just the natural breath that happens by itself. And just notice it in the lower belly area. In and out. Now I'm probably interrupting you thinking. My voice interrupted you talking to yourself in your head. And notice that when you are lost in thought, thinking about plans, about meditation, about sex, about worries, about problems, you're no longer noticing the breath in the lower belly. But don't worry, getting lost in thought is normal. It's how most of us operate. So the next time you notice that thought has taken you over, that you have lost the breath, simply recognize it and then return to the breath. Don't try to be perfect here because you will get lost in thought. Just return to the breath in the lower belly. In and out. Come back. Come back to the breath. All right, you can look at the screen. Now, what we just did, what I just showed you, is the very classic, traditional, basic meditation. That was it. Getting lost in thought, thinking about my problems and my worries, and then what about meditation? I don't know if this is really for me. I can't meditate. And then coming back to the breath. Getting lost in thought, and then coming back to the breath. Now, if you're a complete beginner and you've never done this before, you may feel like your mind was on like level 10, that it was crazy amount of thoughts. And even there was just no way of paying attention to the breath because there was just so much chaos going on. And that's actually a wonderful thing. A lot of people, when they start trying to meditate, they get to that point and they notice how crazy your mind feels and how and you get this feeling of there's no way I can do this. It's it's actually a good thing. You became a little bit quieter. You became a little bit more aware of how your mind usually is on a day-to-day basis. Most of the day, for most of us, we're running away from our minds. It's why we watch movies. It's why we, go out and do experiences. We don't, if we're doing dishes, we have to have a TV show playing on the phone, we got to have that going. Or there's got to be music in the background in a restaurant. It'd be weird. We're always kind of getting away from that quietness, because it reveals all that stuff that's always playing around in the background. So it's actually a good thing that you've noticed that about your mind. That's the first step of learning to let it go, is to see it. Which is why here it's important to understand the idea, like I said earlier, about beginner's minds, what that whole thing is, that calligraphy. Because having a beginner's mind is a mind that is willing to be open to whatever shows up. When we place, like you'll hear a lot of people say, set your intention, maybe at a yoga class, or set your intention or your idea what you want to get out of this, because then you can have a clear goal that you can move towards. And with meditation, it's a bit different. We're kind of leaving alone this one that keeps trying to get stuff, and we're coming back to what we're trying to see, what is already here. Not what can I gain, but what is this kind of moment to moment experience all about? Like a baby complete beginner's mind, right? A baby's fresh, open, looking. That. Wow, what's that? Completely open, accepting it all. So, to have a beginner's mind is to have a mind that is more and more open to what shows up. And that's utterly important in this practice. Because if you were one of these people who it was just so much chaos and you're like, I can't do this. You have this feeling of, I can't meditate. There's no way. My mind's too crazy. My mind's too loud. Then when you develop a sense of openness to that, allowing your mind to be loud, allowing the good thought, the bad thought, the angry thought, the mad thought, the sexy thought, the frustrated thought, this thought, that thought, the thought that says I can't meditate, the thought that says I'm really good at meditation, letting it all come and watching it all go. We develop a sense of openness, a sense of allowing. And with being able to move our attention to the breath, allowing the attention to come down here, we're no longer tied up in the tangles of thoughts because we're right here. And that's when the mind, you could really see it. You can really see it go, yeah, but what about this and what about that? And then you can learn to just remain and let it go. So tomorrow, that's what we're going to be a little bit more engaged in, is what does it actually mean to let the mind go? We're going to continue with this movement of bringing back attention to the breath. And we can, later on, maybe we'll play with different objects. It doesn't just have to be the breath. There's nothing special about it. But it's about letting the mind do what it wants to. So, tomorrow, that's what we'll be doing. And of course, please comment below if you have any questions, any complaints, any frustrations, and please tell us about your experience. We're all here to do this together. So, very excited to be doing this with y'all. Thank you for your time and thank you for your attention. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 3.